So if I could go back in time and only invest into one thing, my personal preference is real estate. I'll go through it step by step. Back in the day when I first started into my investing journey, I was very anxious to just make as much money as possible. And I made some very dumb decisions because I was impatient. I was not able to focus on one clear mission. And I was just thinking that the more revenue streams that I had, the more money I could make. And that's typically the narrative is millionaires have 7 or more income streams. So my thought was if I have 25 income streams, I'll get there faster. So what I didn't realize or what I didn't think of is by spreading out my revenue across 25 different things, I was going 1 mile in a million different directions. And ever since then, I've focused, let me go a million miles in one direction. That's really the mindset now. So if I could go back in time, the first thing I would do, bar none, get out of debt, stay out of debt. That's like the first thing. I was never I didn't have expensive taste. I was very frugal a lot of times. I rarely ever took debt on. And if I did, I would pay it off within a year very aggressively. But I think debt is the first thing that I would massively prioritize to get knocked out. But you need income to do that. So I would invest heavily into a skill set that I could use to increase my income, because there's a million different ways to make money. Preferably, in my opinion, marketing and sales are the two areas or niches that you can make a ton off of. And I would get extremely educated on how to sell and how to market, preferably both, because you can do a lot with that. You can either create pipeline opportunities, you can fill a pipeline via marketing, or you can convert the pipeline into sales and revenue, which is the lifeblood of a company. You have to make money in order to keep the company going. So get extremely educated on both of those. There's a couple books to get a better understanding of the mindset behind those. I like if I could recommend any books to any people, anyone, anywhere, it would be Atomic Habits, Think and Grow Rich, The Magic of Thinking Big, a Rich Dad Poor Dad, and there's maybe a couple others here and there, but those are the ones that come to mind. Maybe Can't Hurt Me. It's more of a mindset book, but those are the books that come to mind when I think life-changing books and ones that can really shape your future. So for that, now that you have your debts paid off, in theory, or you're getting there, you're on that path to pay it off, do that first before you make any investments. You have a skill that you're learning. You're continuously growing that skill. You now have yourself in a position where you're making more money because you know more about this niche, whether it's sales, marketing, or maybe others. You can apply that to any other industry. And now you can either A, go to a company and just continue climbing the ladder or job hopping and finding better pay for better opportunities, better ability to advance yourself income-wise. Start a business, option B. Option C, start with a company, build a business on the side, and then eventually transition into a business full-time. Probably the route that most people would like to go, because you have the guaranteed pay from a job that you can use to build a business and scale. So that was my method and is still my method. I still work with a company because I actually enjoy the work. I get paid really well for it because I'm confident in the product and I like what I do. So it makes sense. Making that income and high level income is really where you can turn on the gas towards your investments, because normally stock traders and stock market guys are all about the compounding growth, and you invest $100 a month for like 40 years, and then eventually you can get yourself to a place where you can live off of that. I don't have anything against the stock market per se, but I've tried every investment out there that's big on paper. It's Amazon FBA, flipping furniture, stocks. I've done Airbnb, real estate, vending machines, and I've bought courses from a lot of those and tried to learn about the industry as much as possible. The problem with, I'd say 90% of these businesses or these niche things like affiliate marketing or something like Amazon FBA is once you stop the thing, or once you stop putting the time in, you're not really making much money. Affiliate marketing, you will. I'll recorrect that. I think the issue with a lot of these industries, like flipping, is it's good to get started because it's low barrier to entry. It's a good way to get some money. But if I had to say, I would rather put I'd rather save up 5, 10, 20 grand to buy one investment like a real estate property versus flipping all this stuff and maybe making that, 5 grand into like 6 grand or 7,500. I think the juice is more worth the squeeze for something like one investment, i.e. real estate, because it does provide you a little bit more peace of mind because you're not running around all the time and spending all this money and time and energy to find a way to make a quick buck. I think when you're desperate, that's where expensive mistakes happen, when you're trying to like rush your way to make that next dollar versus just getting really good at one thing, your job, your business, your skill, and then using that skill to reinvest into something simple. You could do index funds. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that you're going to really make plays at a higher level when you have something that you can funnel your income into and invest into and really allow it to grow. Because for me, preferably, real estate makes sense because it grows over time via equity. You make more cash flow over time because the properties get paid down, and you can use it as like a tax shelter, and it's a legal tax shelter. It's completely okay. There's all sorts of ways that you can write off things for your taxes via real estate, and a lot of people really prefer this method, prefer real estate, commercial real estate, whatever encompasses that sphere, because it is tried and true. Like I'd say a large majority of millionaires are created through real estate because it's a great way to just put your money. You have a property manager that can oversee the property, and it's not necessarily a job. It is to some degree an active source if it comes to like answering emails. But if you have management in place, like quite literally, I spend an hour a month just keeping on top of anything that might get past me in emails or just checking the dashboard to see how our properties are doing. It's not really a big time suck, and it's simple enough, and the returns are good enough to where I feel confident and safe. Come 20, 30 years, my family is going to have more than enough income to be able to sustain a lifestyle if we choose to pass it down. So my mindset is, get out of debt, stay out of debt, earn a high level skill, typically sales, marketing, copywriting, things like that. Scour the internet for any free resources that you can have. YouTube University, Google, a ton of things. You can find library cards through Libby and get books for free. You can get ebooks for free. There's all sorts of free resources out there. Learn as much as you possibly can about these skills, and then use that to make more income, which allows you to grow much faster so that you're not wasting your time trying to find a way to make a quick buck. You can just save that money until it's time to make a much bigger investment into something that's tried and true. Because again, the worst thing that I've done is I spent, 20, 30 grand in my life on stupid investments that I ended up stopping after a year or two anyway. And if I had just taken that and waited and saved and then invested into something, again, like real estate, who knows what would happen. I'm happy that I did what I did because it made me learn a little bit. It made me stand my ground on these points now. But far and away, that's how I would approach life moving forward. And it makes things simple because when you have one clear mission, one clear focus, and one clear investment that you're going to be making that can fill up a sentence or two of your mission or where you're going in life, it makes things easy so that you're not distracted by 1,000 different ways to make money or 1,000 different ways to do things. You have your core focus of what you're doing, making as much money as you can so you can buy more real estate. There's the Rich Dad Poor Dad famous quote about the greenhouses, Big Red Hotel. The small greenhouses are the cash flows. You make your money on cash flow. You take all of that, and then you can just continuously reinvest into bigger investments, and then eventually you're in commercial storage, large apartment complexes of 100, 300, 500 units, and so on. So that's my spiel. I appreciate you sticking around. Hopefully that's brought any value to you. If anything, it's just a testament to my future self, my future family, and I am documenting my process to financial freedom along the way. So thank you so much for watching. God bless, and stay tuned.